Hi everyone, I am Barrington. I am one of the discussion leaders for this week, along with Riley. I hope you guys are doing great. It is currently 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm awake. But yeah, I just wanted to get this video out. So I did watch some of you guys' videos. Um, it's good to know that I wasn't, along with Riley as well, that we weren't the only ones who kind of struggled with the reading. I remember watching Quinn's video in the beginning, and he said that he kind of felt sorry for us because we got the hard article. But honestly, reading it the first time, I was like, okay, this is completely going over my head. And then I read it the second time, I was like, okay, I think I know where this is going. So yeah, I watched some of you guys' videos. It's good to know that I wasn't alone. I did write down some words, like in our previous classes, of words that I was not familiar with, along with words that I feel like I know, but I didn't know the correct definition. So I did do that list, and that's actually been helping me. So, yay. I did want to answer two of my own questions, and I will answer two of Riley's. So for mine that I did want to answer from my own point of view, how would you define transnationalism? Honestly, I think I said this in my paper. When I first seen the word transnationalism, I thought of a highway. For one, because you're moving products, goods, and services from one place to another, and like I said, highways, railroads, planes. Like you're just pretty much moving from one place to another, and you're bringing your culture with you. And I think in my paper I talked about back, I think it was in China, if I'm not mistaken, how they move silk back and forth, and like personal artifacts, everything to make silk, everything else that they needed just for like survival. But I remember in the reading that there was not a specific definition for transnationalism. And I think I compared it to PR, how PR, I remember in our class of Pettigrew, I think it was in our second week, how we talked about how do people define PR, and that there isn't a specific definition that's always changing. Like it'll change depending on like who you ask, but it's never like lined up, set in stone. So I made that comparison in my paper. My third question, my second question, sorry, was how does transnational media such as international news outlets and social media platforms shape the foundation for the development of imagined communities? Do you think these communities can unite different people across the world? That is a definite yes. Along with my paper, I did say that when I think of imagined communities, I think of virtual reality. And then I talked about the gaming system. And if you guys didn't know, it is Mortal Kombat 1's release day of the new game from Ed Boon and Warner. I think it's Warner Brothers. Warner Studio. I know it's like, no, NetherRealm Studios, my bad. But I mean, I was playing it a little bit. I'm not gonna cap. And it's interesting how these imagined communities bring people together. And I think, especially, and excuse me, I did talk about in my paper about the whole gaming community and how I could be in the States here in Atlanta, and next thing you know, I could be playing with someone online in Spain or like Hong Kong or China. So it's one of those things too where there's a community within a community. And then I brought up the examples of how anime is extremely popular here. I know it's popular, in China and whatnot, but it's extremely popular here with Comic-Con, Capcom. I think there's another con, Dragon Con. Just different cultures, different ideas are like incredibly popular over here. And I also talked about how successful K-pop is over here, and how like their music is trending and everything else. So I think the imagined communities from our reading help bring people together. And I feel like there's always something for everyone. There's an old saying that I actually got from SpongeBob that there's a squid for every pot. So there's something, like I said, there's something for everyone. And I didn't want to answer one of Riley's questions. She said in her post, do you believe that higher education levels in foreign language skills are more relevant factors than economic status? I would say yes. It depends on who you ask, though. Because I remember being older and taking Spanish, growing up and being older, being younger, um, taking Spanish in high school, like Spanish 1, 2, and 3. And I remember just knowing like just general terms of vocabulary, um, and just like knowing what's going on, because I know Spanish is like the second most spoken language in the world. So, if I can speak English and Spanish, I'm guaranteed to get the job. But if I just speak English, it's kind of like I'm diminishing myself. Not so much as diminishing myself, but it's like I'm not getting all of the crumbs from the plate, if that makes sense. I do believe higher education levels and foreign language skills are more relevant factors, because that's literally what anyone will ever talk about. But I remember there's an old saying that's like, "Oh, go for your degree. Everything else will fall into place." I have the degree. I'm still confused. you know. Um, like I said, I feel like this question go either way, but hmm, for me personally, because I'm reading it again, do you believe the higher education levels and foreign language skills are more relevant factors? I have to say yes. I'm just gonna leave it at that. I'm just gonna have to say yes. But I hope you guys enjoyed this reading. Like, I know me and Riley did. I know we talked about it for a hot minute, a couple days. Um, but yeah, I enjoyed watching you guys' videos. It was really insightful, and I hope to see you guys next week.